Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have a wonderful guest in studio today. It's James Bernicky, and he's an attorney with the Bernicky Law Firm. Welcome.
Thanks, Liz. Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about your law firm. What do you specialize in?
Well, I personally specialize in real estate. I do a lot of transactional law. I do estates, estate planning, wills and trusts, entertainment business, anything having to do with contract, trademarks, copyrights, things of that like. And then I have another attorney, Maura, in my firm, who does most of the litigation side. She does bankruptcies, personal injury, evictions, any kind of litigation in court.
Wonderful. You have a great motto that I really like, people first.
People first has been our motto. We really like it. We like to say, you're not a file number, you're a name. And we get to know people, and that's just the way we like to do things in our firm. When I started the firm, I had worked at some bigger firms, and I didn't like what I was seeing there. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to go to start my own firm, make it a smaller firm, and make sure that we knew everybody and they knew us. So we've got a great support staff, we've got a great attorneys, and we want to know you, we want to know your case, and we want to help you as best we can.
That's wonderful, because we appreciate it. Because when we're seeking a lawyer, it's a time of stress for us, whether it be good stress or bad stress. And one of the things that you specialize in is real estate, and you recommend to take an attorney with you in that real estate purchase, which I don't think a lot of us think about. So tell me why should we bring you? Not because, well, you're friendly, we like that. So, but why do we need an attorney with us in that transaction?
Well, there's a lot of things you're going to sign throughout a real estate transaction, right, whether you're buying or whether you're selling. There's just numerous paperwork. There's a lot of legalese, and in the same way that I want a plumber to replumb my house, I think you should have a lawyer to explain to you everything you're signing, because our goal is to make sure you're comfortable with all the terms of what you're signing, whether you're selling or you're buying.
And when do you come into the procedures, or when do you join us on this team?
In a perfect world, a buyer or seller will have their whole team together, either when they're listing the house or before they're putting in offers, so that we can all work collaboratively. A lot of times people get their realtor first, then their lender, then their attorney, so I come in a little later. And that's okay too. In a perfect world, I'd be able to review things a little quicker and make sure that everything's everything's as it should be. But it's not a big deal if I'm not. Right.
Well, and I would imagine that especially on the first time we bring in a lawyer, we're probably bringing you in when we find out something's off.
Well, and all the real estate contracts have an attorney provision in them. So within 5 days of signing the contract, an attorney can review it and make sure everything's as it should be. Buyer's financing looks good. Everything the sellers, including with the home, everything is as it should be. So most attorneys come in within that 5-day period between signing and the end of what we call attorney review.
Okay. And how do you work when you, in the ideal world, on my ideal team that I'm putting together here, how do you work with my real estate agent and my mortgage lender? Where do you come in that? How do you guys work together?
Well, we all have our areas of expertise, obviously, but sometimes there are multiple offer situations that a realtor may say, I want a second set of eyes on this. Is this financing sound? Should we go with a slightly lower offer that's cash? And those are things an attorney can help with. On the lender side, the lender may need documents from the buyer or seller. Sometimes there are things hanging off on title on the property that we thought were taken care of years ago. I've seen many instances people are going to sell and they say, oh no, I don't have a HELOC loan. And we look and there was a HELOC loan in 1988 that they've completely forgotten about. But these are things that need to be cleared up. Sometimes there are tickets or fines for not cutting your grass that you paid but weren't necessarily cleared off the title of your house. We need to take care of that. So we can all work together to make sure that the closing is smooth and on time. That's our end goal.
Right. Well, yeah. When you're ticking off those things that can possibly attach to your title, if you've done any additions or something like that, oftentimes they put, I think it's a lien or and sometimes they remove them, and sometimes I didn't even think about that.
And I've seen instances where you bought your house from Sally Smith, and Sally Smith's mortgage wasn't properly taken off of the title, and it obviously was. You bought the house, everything's fine, but that's a step that I can help with.
Right.
I can call whatever title company this was when you bought the house and say, you know, this was obviously paid, can we get a clearance letter for this? Can we take care of this? Because if you didn't have an attorney reviewing the title before the closing, that might come up at the closing. You have no way of fixing that on the spot.
Right.
That's going to take a couple weeks. So it's best to have your attorney involved early, review everything, make sure there's no hiccups, because, I mean, at this point I haven't seen it all, but I feel like I've seen enough where I know, you know, let's check this right away, make sure everything's sound, so that when that closing date comes at 9 o'clock, there's no issues, you sign your papers, we'll explain everything to you, and
Right, because you're
house.
with me in the closing.
Yes, yes, that's one of the most important things that the attorney does within the transaction after reviewing the contract, is going over all the closing documents with you, making sure you are 100% comfortable with everything.
Right, and that you understand it, because it's all legalese. Again, you speak that, I do not.
Everybody has their own
Expertise, right.
I don't host a talk show, so
Right, that's
I
okay.
come to you.
That's good. Well, we'll just trade services when I go to buy or sell my home. So talk to me a little bit about what you think the real estate market looks like in Naperville.
Oh, the real estate market in Naperville right now is great. Inventory is really low, and I have a lot of people who are looking to sell, and if you're listing your house right now at the proper price point, you'll have multiple offers before you even know it. I mean, I have people who, they put their house up on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and they're planning an open house on Saturday, and by Friday they have 10 offers, and they say, we don't even need an open house at this point. Let's just pick this best offer and move forward. So it's, if you're thinking about selling, it's hot, and if you're thinking about buying, on the flip side, if you see a house come up on Tuesday, don't wait till Saturday. Get out there, check it out, and make sure, you know, this is something you might want to put an offer in, because if you wait on it, it will be gone.
Well, and I think, especially with the speed of the market right now, I think that points even more to having an attorney right now, because speed often accelerates stress in an unfamiliar environment. I much rather have my team more familiar with that stress than me.
Yes, yes, and we can help take the stress off you, because, like I said, you know, if you put your house up on a Tuesday and Wednesday you're either putting in an offer or accepting an offer, time is ticking already,
right.
And you may be looking at buying another house. Now you're looking for a house, so there may be other things on your mind. Why add the added stress of saying, well, now I have to find an attorney and a home inspector and this and that?
Right.
You know, that's why I say in a perfect world, you should have everything ready to go, because you don't need that added stress of finding things once you're already under contract.
That's wonderful. Well, James, I appreciate you stopping by and telling me all about what you do for real estate, and then also that your firm just handles just everyday needs too.
Yes, yes. Every day, you know, me personally, I handle everyday contract needs. And I tell people, if you're signing something, whether it's a car contract, a contract to buy a house, an employment contract, and you're uncertain of the terms, call me. We can look it over. It's not that expensive in the grand scheme of things, because fixing something after you've already signed it and you didn't know what you signed is far more expensive than paying an attorney to look it over before you sign it. Because once it's in litigation, then it's going to be very, very expensive.
Right. Well, and now that we've met you, and you're friendly, and you're a people first type of guy, we have a lawyer on our team. So that's wonderful. Thanks for stopping by and sharing what you do. We wish you continued success. We're going to be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.